In this video, I'm going to show you the basics of iMovie and how to edit your videos on the desktop version of iMovie. So iMovie is available on Mac as standard, and it's a great software to edit movies. I don't find it too difficult to use, but I hope this video will really help you get started. So I'm going to show you how to import your media, whether that be a video clip or a picture or some music, and what you can use and what you can't. I'm going to show you the basics of editing. So I'm going to show you how to split clips, how to build up that timeline, including how to add titles, how to add transitions and what they are. And I'm also going to show you how to download your project when you've finished and give you some tips and tricks along the way. So there's two ways that you could use this video. You could watch it all the way through. It's less than 15 minutes, so you get a basic view of iMovie and then go off and create your project. Or you could create your project as I'm going along in the video and press pause and kind of follow along with me as you're having a play with what you're creating. Okay, so screenshot behind is already iMovie. It's this icon at the bottom, this white icon at the bottom. We're going to click that, and this is what you'll see. I have one of those faces that every still of me, I look crazy. Anyway, so on Create New, you're going to have two options. You're going to have Create a Movie or Create a Trailer. Now, I'm not going to cover trailer because most of the time, the kinds of videos that you want to create for your helping professions business, you're not going to want to create a trailer. You're probably going to use those if you're playing around with a bit of family footage. So we're going to do Movie. So we're going to click on Movie. Now, this is your editing suite. It's made up of three main sections. Up here is your tray. So up here is everything that you will be wanting to use in your video. So all of the images and the videos and all the pieces that you want to use in your particular video, they will be here on this section here. At the bottom, you have timeline. So this is the actual movie that you're creating, the timeline of what it is that you're putting together. And then over here we have a preview window so that we can see exactly what it is going to look like when we press publish. So the first thing is, how do you import your movie, your videos? Now, sometimes I'm going to use just a AMA video. Sometimes if you drag and drop, it will let you add them into here, and sometimes it doesn't. Like today, it's not doing that, so sometimes it does. If not, we can go into import media. So I just went file and import media, and then we can just pick one of our videos that we're gonna use. So I don't know, this one will do absolutely fine. And we click on it and then import selected. And then what I generally find is once you've imported one thing, it will then let you drag and drop other things in. So we're going to find a couple of images that we can play with, pictures. Build it brilliant. Let's just pick some bit of images. Let's just pick a social media quote. There we go. So we can play with that. If you wanted to use music, then you can click on audio and video, and there are some clips here that you can use. Alternatively, you can just do exactly the same if you've got it on your computer, but just be really careful. You can't just use like your latest, you know, Pink or Tom Walker or whatever. You can't use those, they're all copyrighted, so you need to use royalty-free music. But if it is on your desktop as royalty-free music, you can just drag and drop it into your tray as well, just the same way that we've done the picture. Okay, so I also have a few resources that I use for the AMA videos, which are a shortcut and they really help. So let me just kind of show you some of the stuff that's really helpful to have as resources. So number one is my outro for YouTube. So we can drag and drop that. So this goes at the end of my videos for YouTube. I also have just a blank black screen, which I created in PowerPoint and then just saved it as a JPEG image. So it is literally just black, and I will show you why that's useful in a second, just to have a black screen. So I'll show you why that's useful. And then things like my subscribe buttons. So you can get these online, and these are a green screen in the background and then a subscribe at a certain place. So I'm going to drag that in as well, and then you can see how I use this and how that works. So you've got all the things that you want for your video, and now we're going to start with the timeline at the bottom. So we're going to drag and drop. We're going to drag and drop the video, and then we want the subscribe at the end, so we're going to drag and drop that at the end. And then we'll play with these two in a second and show you what these are. So now we start having a timeline at the bottom. Now, one of the little tips is here we have a zoom. This is really good if you've made a mistake and you want to chop a little bit out to make sure that you're precise and get the bit that does need chopping. Is you zoom, and it will, as you can see here, it gets bigger and bigger. So now I can see that I have this gap where at the beginning where there's no talking. So I want to get rid of that. So you click on where you want it to chop the video, and then you right click and then split clip. And that's now split off this beginning bit. And then so long as the yellow bit is around it, we can just press backspace and that will delete that little bit of video. You can do that anywhere on the video. So say you made a mistake here, you can just right click, split clip, and I want it to go here. You can right click, split clip, and then I could delete this bit. So you could do that anywhere on the video. So say, let's go through images. So this image that I've got here, that's this quote, you've got a couple of options of how you import your image. So the first one is if you don't want the audio to carry on over the image, you can, so long as you've got a bit of, so say I want this here, I can split the clip here, so I've got this gap, and then click and drag this in here. Sometimes I like to make this shorter so it's a bit easier to play with. So now what will happen is the audio will stop, the video will stop, we'll flick to this image, and then we'll flick back to this. So if you don't want the audio over your image, then that's a great way to do it. You might notice that this moves. This is called Ken Burns, if you've never heard of it before, and I'll show you how to switch it on and switch it off. And you'll also notice that the clip goes literally from this video to there and snaps back. Okay. So sometimes you want to soften these transitions. So that is what transitions are for. So if I cross dissolve, and again it's just click and drag and drop, then now the two are going to cross rather than being so sharp.
Your private practice costing you.
Okay.
Most therapists.
Stop. Okay, so Ken Burns. If we go up here to this toolbar, there's various things that you can edit on any bit of your clip. So this one, we double click, we've got Ken Burns, and that means that the picture's going to move. And we have, this says start, and then this one says end. And if we click on either one, we can alter where it starts and where it ends to make it move in a slightly different way. So if I put them on top of each other, click back down in the timeline, now it's almost going to grow out. If you don't want them at all, just click so that the yellow outline is there, click on here and then fit. And now when I go to the bottom, it will literally just be static. So that's one way of implementing a picture. The other way of implementing a picture is to drag it over the top. This is, you want the audio to continue as you show the picture. So if you want that, you can just drag it over the top of the video. And now we're going to play with this again. So now we've got this box up here. Cutaway means that the video, let me just change those Ken Burns again. So now what will happen is the audio will continue, but it will cut away to the clip and then cut back.
They start off their business with manual processes, and the reason for that is because they don't really have enough customers.
Okay. If you want this longer, we can just drag the edge to as long as we want to show. This is great if you're doing a PowerPoint presentation, you want to still be talking over the top of it. We also have a few other options up here. Blue and green screen I'll show you in a second with the subscribe option that I use. Split screen is side by side, and then picture in picture is where it will come up on the screen. So I could have me, and then I'm just going to click and drag and move it and make it bigger, and I could have my kind of PowerPoint things here. So now it will show up at the side
with manual process.
So the other thing is the green screen. So these subscribes are using green screen. So if I drag that over the top of here and I choose the option of blue or green screen, what will happen now is it will come, but you won't see the green bit. That's got noise on it. I want to take the sound off. So up here we have a sound option. I'm going to mute that. So again, you can lower the sound, increase the sound of any of the clips that you add. And this bar down here is the sound down here. So I could lower the volume on this just by clicking it down or bringing it up. All these tips. I hope this is useful for you. So there you go. That's how you add images and green screen things and transitions. Okay, so what if we didn't want this subscribe? We wanted instead a title. So I'm just going to click this as yellow and then backspace to delete. I'm going to go in titles, and in here you've got all sorts of interesting ways that you can add titles to your video. I'm going to choose this one again, drag and drop, and now I can put Zoe Thompson here. Just click on it on your preview screen. Now when I play the video, again, I'm just clicking wherever it is that I want this cursor to be. And if I play it now, I'm going to have a label on it here.
In your private practice.
Here. Okay, so, and then at the end, I've got my little YouTube.
I will see you next week for the next one.
So I could put a transition in just into here. As long as it's got the yellow outline, it's going to move when you click it. So now, excuse me, now it will go.
See you next week for the next one.
Fade, and then the video. So edit your video until you're happy with it, playing with all of those tools. Have a look at some of the other ones that are up here and what you can do. When you're ready, you literally click this button at the top and export file. Change the name of the movie, whatever it is. I'm just going to call it test. Change the description, test. And then when you click next, it's going to ask you where on your computer you want to save it. Click save and it will automatically render your video, and then you'll find it in your computer there, if whatever it is that you want to do with it. And then when you click back on projects, it will get you to name it. And then if you wanted to go back in and edit it, then on your dashboard, it's just going to be here. And you can double click and go back in and edit it. That is it for this week's video. I hope you have found that useful. Please do share with me in the comments the videos that you've created. I'd love to see them, so long as they're appropriate for health professionals and useful. So yeah, do let me know how you get on with iMovie, and enjoy playing with it and creating videos that help you to connect with more clients and build the business that you love. I will see you in the next video next week.